You know, it's wild how we use our phones for everything these days, like ordering takeout, finding dates, even settling debates about song lyrics. But what about an app that could actually diagnose you? We're getting closer to that sci-fi future with AI in medicine, and today we're talking with someone who's on the front lines of making it happen.
It really is an incredible time to be working in this field.
Dr. José Antonio Cisneros is not only a practicing physician, get this, he also has a PhD in bioengineering. Talk about a double threat.
I've always been fascinated by the intersection of medicine and technology. It's what drew me to both fields.
So he's got this incredible inside view of how AI is changing the game, from research labs to hospitals, and we're going to break it all down for you in this deep dive. Get ready for some serious aha moments, because we're about to explore how AI is transforming clinical medicine and what it means for your health.
I'm excited to dive in.
One of the things Dr. Cisneros talks about that really blew my mind was AI's role in diagnosis. He describes it as having like a superpowered medical detective by your side, sifting through tons of data to crack the case. What is it about AI that makes it so good at that kind of detective work?
It all comes down to pattern recognition, which honestly AI is crazy good at. Think about it. AI can analyze your lab results, look at your medical scans, even take your family history into account, and it's looking for those subtle clues that might be easily missed.
So it's not just about speed, but actually making those connections that even a seasoned doctor might not.
Exactly. It's like equipping your doctor with the ability to instantly cross-reference millions of medical textbooks and patient histories. And as Dr. Cisneros points out, that kind of early detection is absolutely crucial, especially in areas like radiology or pathology. We're already seeing AI perform as well as, and in some cases even better than, human specialists when it comes to detecting things like tumors on scans. It's even able to pick up on things before they're visible to the human eye.
Wow, that's a game changer. That kind of early warning could save lives.
Yeah.
But let's say AI helps make a diagnosis. What happens next? How does it actually help treat someone?
That's where personalized medicine comes into play, which is another area Dr. Cisneros is incredibly passionate about. Instead of that old school one-size-fits-all approach to treatment, personalized medicine is all about tailoring treatments to you, your individual needs.
So instead of just getting a standard prescription or a generic treatment plan, it's like factoring in my DNA, my lifestyle, all those individual pieces, right?
Exactly. Instead of a generic map, AI is like having a GPS system for your health. It helps guide your treatment based on your genes and your personal risk factors. And this is huge, especially for chronic conditions like cancer, diabetes, or heart disease, where finding the most effective treatment can be really complex.
It's like having a treatment plan as unique as I am.
Exactly. That's the future. AI could help us unlock treatments that work best with your body's unique needs. We're moving away from simply reacting to health problems and going towards a more proactive and ultimately more effective approach to healthcare.
Okay, now we're getting to the really futuristic stuff. Dr. Cisneros also talks about robots in the operating room. I have to admit, even with AI, the idea of a robot performing surgery is a little freaky.
I totally get it. It does sound like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, right? But it's not about robots going rogue in the operating room or anything like that. We're really talking about incredibly precise tools, guided by both the surgeon's expertise and AI algorithms.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. So it's more like a partnership with the surgeon in control, using the robot's precision to their advantage.
Exactly. Dr. Cisneros has talked about how these robots can perform very intricate procedures, resulting in smaller incisions, faster recovery times, and fewer complications overall. And that's particularly impactful for minimally invasive surgeries.
So it's not just about making current surgeries easier. This technology could allow surgeons to do things that were just considered too risky before.
Absolutely. And it doesn't end there. Imagine a world where AI could help surgeons train, offering real-time feedback and analysis to continuously improve their skills. It's not just about making surgery more precise, it's about making what's surgically possible even broader.
It's incredible to think about. But even with all of this amazing technology, we're still dealing with this huge amount of information in healthcare. Every doctor's visit, it seems like there's a mountain of paperwork. How can AI help us make sense of all that data?
You're right, it's this data deluge that's a major pain point in healthcare. It's overwhelming, even for the most organized medical professionals. Dr. Cisneros described AI as a super efficient medical librarian. It can sift through, organize, and find meaningful insights from all those patient records, lab results, and research papers.
So AI could help doctors spend less time on paperwork and more time with patients, using that analysis to make better decisions.
Exactly. It's like having a whole team of analysts working behind the scenes to connect all the dots. Imagine AI going through thousands of patient records to identify those who are at high risk for a specific condition that would allow for early intervention and preventive care, which is huge.
It's like having a personalized early warning system for your health.
That's a great way to put it. And it's not limited to just individual patients. AI can also look at data from entire populations, which can help us understand disease trends and develop public health strategies that are more effective.
So we could see improvements in healthcare not just on an individual level, but on a global scale as well.
Exactly. That ability to analyze huge data sets is a game changer. AI can find those hidden connections and patterns that would be impossible for humans to find on their own.
It's like having a team of experts working behind the scenes to make healthcare smarter and more efficient.
That's a perfect way to describe it. And efficiency is more important now than ever, especially with the growth we've seen in telemedicine, which has transformed how we access healthcare.
And speaking of telemedicine, it's definitely changed things, especially after the pandemic forced so many of us to go virtual. How does AI fit into this world of virtual appointments and remote patient monitoring?
Telemedicine has been great at breaking down geographical barriers, and AI has the potential to make it even better. Just imagine this. You wake up with a cough that just won't quit. Instead of waiting for an appointment, you open up a telemedicine app and tell an AI-powered virtual assistant about your symptoms. This assistant could analyze what you're experiencing, ask you some relevant questions, and even offer some advice based on your medical history.
It's like having a 24/7 medical expert right in your pocket.
Exactly. And because these AI tools are available all the time, they can address patients' needs immediately, which can reduce anxiety and help people stick to their treatment plans.
That's a win-win for both patients and healthcare providers.
Absolutely. And it's not just about giving information. AI can also help personalize those patient education materials, making them easier for people to understand and more relevant to their specific needs. Imagine watching tailored videos or using interactive tools that explain your condition, treatment options, and what to expect during recovery in a clear and engaging way.
That's a huge improvement over those generic pamphlets you usually get at a doctor's office.
I know, right? And with AI, we can take personalization even further. Imagine your wearable devices, like your smartwatch or fitness tracker, constantly gathering data on your activity levels, sleep patterns, even your mood. Then, AI algorithms could analyze all that data and give you insights and recommendations for improving your overall health and well-being.
So it's like having a personal health coach right there on your wrist.
Exactly. And because that feedback is coming from your own personal data and habits, it's much more likely to resonate with you and encourage you to make positive changes.
It's not just about telling people what to do, it's about understanding where they're at and giving them the tools and support they need to succeed.
Yes. And that's something AI can be incredibly helpful with. Another area where AI is set to completely change the game is in mental health. It can be really hard to access mental health care. There are often long wait times, it can be expensive, and the stigma is still a big problem. But AI-powered tools have the potential to make mental health support much more accessible, affordable, and convenient.
That's huge, especially now with mental health conditions on the rise globally. How are these AI tools being used in mental health care right now?
One of the most promising applications is the development of AI-powered chatbots and virtual therapists that can provide support and guidance whenever someone needs it. These tools can offer a listening ear, teach coping mechanisms, and even lead personalized therapy sessions, and people can access it all from home.
That could be a game changer for people who feel intimidated or embarrassed to seek help the traditional way.
You're absolutely right. And because these tools can be anonymous and are available 24/7, they can reach people who might otherwise fall through the cracks. Now, it's important to remember that these AI-powered tools aren't meant to completely replace human therapists, but they can act as a first line of support. They can help bridge that gap in mental health care and make sure people are getting help when they need it.
So it's about providing more options and expanding access for people seeking support.
Exactly. And AI can play a huge role in reducing the stigma around mental health. By interacting with these AI-powered tools, people might feel more comfortable opening up about their struggles and asking for help without fear of judgment.
It's about creating a safe space for people to talk about mental health, whether it's with a human or an AI.
Exactly. That's a key step in building a healthier and more compassionate world. Beyond mental health, though, AI can also improve the practical day-to-day patient experience. For instance, AI can streamline administrative tasks like booking appointments, managing insurance claims, and navigating those often confusing hospital systems.
So are you saying that instead of being stuck on hold for hours, I could just talk to an AI that could handle all that for me?
Exactly. AI can take over those boring, time-consuming tasks, which frees patients up to focus on what matters their health. And it frees up healthcare providers to spend more time with their patients.
It's about using AI to make healthcare more efficient, less frustrating, and ultimately more human.
You got it. That's a future I'm excited to be a part of.
Me too. But with all the excitement about AI revolutionizing healthcare, it's important to remember that we're just at the beginning. There'll be bumps along the way, unexpected hurdles, even some setbacks.
You're right, and Dr. Cisneros is very open about that. He emphasizes that we have to approach AI in healthcare with both excitement and caution. We have to be willing to adapt and learn as we go.
So we need to be realistic about what AI can and can't do, right? But at the same time, be open to the incredible potential.
Exactly, and that means being willing to experiment, learn from our mistakes, and always be improving our approaches.
Because the goal isn't to create a perfect AI-driven healthcare system right away. It's about laying the groundwork for a healthier, more equitable future for everyone.
That's it. That's a vision worth striving for, even if we don't know exactly what the road ahead looks like.
It's about embracing the unknown, the challenges and the opportunities that AI brings, but never losing sight of what truly matters, the health and well-being of every single person.
It is uncharted territory in a lot of ways, and that's exactly why it's so important to be having these conversations now. One thing Dr. Cisneros really stresses is the need for transparency. When AI is involved in a patient's diagnosis or treatment, they have a right to know how it's being used, what factors are being considered.
It's about empowering patients to understand what's happening, to be part of the process, not just passively going along with whatever the AI suggests.
Absolutely. And it's also about making sure these AI systems are designed and used fairly. If the data used to train these algorithms is off, it could lead to biased outcomes, right? Imagine an AI that's mainly been trained on data from big city hospitals. It might not be as accurate or effective for patients in rural areas who have totally different health needs and access to care.
It's not just about the tech, it's about who is creating it, who benefits, and who might be left behind, unintentionally or not.
Exactly. We need diverse voices and perspectives at every stage. The engineers and programmers, of course, but also the doctors and nurses who will actually be using these tools with their patients every day.
It's about making sure AI in healthcare is serving everyone, not just a select few. Now, beyond those ethical questions, what about the practical challenges of bringing AI into something as complex as healthcare?
That's another massive piece of this whole puzzle. Dr. Cisneros talks about the need for seamless integration, which is definitely easier said than done. The healthcare system is really fragmented. You've got hospitals, clinics, insurance companies. They often operate in silos.
It's like we're trying to build a high-speed train network and everyone's still using horses and buggies.
That's a great way to put it. We need to find ways to connect these separate systems so data can be shared securely and efficiently. Think about it. An AI that could access your complete medical history, no matter where you were treated. That kind of comprehensive picture would be unbelievably valuable for accurate diagnoses and personalized treatments.
It's like solving a giant jigsaw puzzle, and each piece of data is a vital clue.
An AI can help us put that puzzle together faster and more accurately than we ever could before. But it requires everyone working together, a willingness to break down those traditional walls between healthcare providers.
So it's not just about inventing new tech, but also about changing the whole system and agreeing on what we want the future of healthcare to be.
Absolutely. And that brings us to another thing Dr. Cisneros talks about. We have to prepare the next generation of healthcare professionals for this AI-driven world.
So medical schools need to start teaching AI.
Exactly. It's not just about knowing how to use the technology, it's about understanding how it works, what its limitations are, and the ethical issues it brings up. We're talking about a whole generation of healthcare providers who need to be ready for a world where AI is everywhere in medicine, helping with diagnosis, treatment, surgery, patient monitoring.
It's like they're learning a whole new language. But instead of words, it's algorithms and data sets.
That's such a good way to put it. And this isn't just about doctors, nurses, pharmacists, technicians. Everyone in healthcare will need some level of AI understanding to work in this new landscape.
We need a whole workforce that's as comfortable with AI as they are with a stethoscope.
That's right. And that means investing in education and training, not just in medical schools, but in hospitals and clinics everywhere.
It sounds as AI isn't just changing how we deliver healthcare, but also how we train the people who'll be delivering it for years to come. But with all this focus on technology, we can't forget the human side of healthcare.
Couldn't agree more. Dr. Cisneros makes a really powerful point about the importance of human connection and empathy. Even in an AI-driven world, he believes AI should be enhancing those interactions, not trying to replace them.
So we're not talking about a future where robots have replaced doctors and nurses, and it's cold and impersonal.
Not at all. AI can handle the data, the risk assessments, the routine stuff, but it's the human healthcare workers who bring the compassion, the empathy, the ability to really connect with their patients on a personal level.
Those are qualities you just can't program into an algorithm.
Exactly. And honestly, by taking over those more tedious tasks, AI could actually give healthcare providers more time and energy to focus on those human connections.
It's not about robots replacing doctors and nurses. It's about giving them better tools to be even better at what they already do best, caring for their patients.
Exactly. That's where the real power of AI lies. Not in replacing human beings, but in helping them provide even more compassionate, personalized, and effective care.
It's about AI helping to build a healthcare system that's both technologically advanced and still deeply human. Okay, let's switch gears a bit and look at how AI can actually improve the patient experience. Because let's be real, navigating the healthcare system can be a nightmare.
Oh, tell me about it. It can be so confusing, time-consuming, and often feels very impersonal. But AI has the potential to really change all that.
So how can AI make healthcare more patient-centered? What are some real-world examples?
One area where AI is already making a big difference is in patient communication. Picture this. You've just been discharged from the hospital after a procedure, and you're overwhelmed with instructions and follow-up appointments. Instead of trying to remember everything, you've got access to an AI chatbot that can answer your questions, remind you about your meds, and even connect you with your healthcare team if you're concerned about something.
It's like having a personal assistant for your health, available 24/7.
Yes. And because these AI tools are always there, they can address patient needs in real time, which can ease anxiety and help people follow their treatment plans more effectively.
That's a big win for both patients and healthcare providers.
Totally. And it's not just about giving information. AI can make those patient education materials way more personalized and easier to understand, more relevant to what each person is going through. Imagine getting videos or interactive tools that explain your condition, treatment choices, and what recovery will look like, all in a way that's actually engaging.
It's a huge step up from those generic pamphlets they hand out at the doctor's office.
For sure. And AI can take personalization even further. Imagine a world where your wearables, your smartwatch or fitness tracker are constantly collecting data on you, your activity, sleep patterns, even your mood. AI could analyze all of that and give you super personalized insights and recommendations to improve your overall health.
It's like having a personal health coach on your wrist, giving you helpful nudges.
Exactly. And because that feedback is based on your own data, it just makes sense. It's more likely to resonate with you and motivate you to make positive changes.
So it's not just about telling people what they should be doing. It's about understanding them and giving them the support they need to make those changes.
Precisely. And that's where AI can shine. Another area ripe for change is mental health. We've talked about how difficult it can be to access mental health care, but AI could make a real difference here.
That's such an important point, especially with mental health concerns increasing globally. How are we using these AI tools in mental health care today?
One of the most promising areas is in those AI-powered chatbots and virtual therapists we touched on earlier. They can offer support and guidance whenever someone needs it. Imagine a listening ear, tools for coping, even personalized therapy sessions, all from the comfort of your own home.
It could make a world of difference for people who are too embarrassed or scared to seek help through those traditional routes.
Absolutely. And because they offer anonymity and are available 24/7, they can reach those who might otherwise not seek help. Now, I want to be clear. These tools aren't about replacing human therapists completely, but they can be that first line of support, helping to bridge the gap in care and make sure people are getting help when they need it most.
So it's about giving people more options, making support more available for those who need it.
Exactly. And AI can help fight the stigma that still surrounds mental health. By interacting with these tools, people might feel safer, more comfortable opening up about what they're going through and asking for help without that fear of judgment.
It's about creating a safe and supportive environment for people to talk about mental health, whether it's with a human therapist or an AI-powered tool.
You got it. And that's a huge step toward a healthier, more compassionate society. But AI can also improve more practical aspects of the patient experience. For example, AI can streamline all that administrative stuff that takes up so much time scheduling insurance claims, even just figuring out how to navigate a hospital system.
So instead of spending hours on hold, I could just deal with an AI assistant that takes care of all that for me.
Exactly. AI can handle those tedious tasks, freeing up patients to focus on what really matters their health and giving healthcare providers back valuable time to spend with their patients.
It's about leveraging AI to make healthcare more efficient, less frustrating, and ultimately more human.
Absolutely. And that's the kind of future I'm excited to be a part of.
Me too. But even with all this talk about AI changing everything in healthcare, it's good to remember that we're really just at the beginning of this journey. We're going to hit some bumps in the road, encounter unexpected challenges, and probably even face some setbacks along the way.
That's absolutely true. Dr. Cisneros is very upfront about that. He stresses that we have to approach AI in healthcare with a healthy dose of caution. We have to stay flexible and always be ready to learn and adapt.
It's about being realistic about both the potential of AI and its limitations.
Exactly. And it means we need to be willing to try new things, to learn from our mistakes, and constantly improve how we're doing things.
The goal isn't to create the perfect AI-powered healthcare system overnight. It's about building the foundation for a healthier, more equitable future for everyone.
That's it. That's a vision worth working towards, even if the path to get there isn't perfectly clear yet.
It's about embracing the unknown, the challenges and the opportunities AI brings, all while keeping our focus on what really matters, the health and well-being of every individual. It's like we're standing on the edge of a whole new world in medicine, and AI is holding the door open.
It's definitely a time of incredible change and opportunity, but as Dr. Cisneros points out, we need to make sure we're not just rushing through that door without thinking.
So it's not just about how amazing the AI tools are, it's also about making sure they're being used thoughtfully and ethically.
Exactly. And that's where the human element comes in, right? We need doctors, nurses, ethicists, policymakers, everyone working together to make sure AI is being used in a way that benefits everyone.
It's about having those tough conversations, right? Things like data privacy, algorithmic bias, and the impact on people's jobs.
You got it. We need to be sure that we're using AI to create a more just and fair healthcare system for everybody, not one that makes existing inequalities even worse.
We have to remember that behind all the data and the algorithms, there are real people's lives at stake.
That's exactly it. And that's why patient education and getting them involved is so important. People need to know how AI is being used in their own care, and they need to have a say in how this technology is being developed.
It's about empowering patients to be active participants in their own health journey, not just going along with whatever an AI recommends.
Absolutely. That means being transparent, communicating clearly, and being willing to listen to and learn from patients' experiences.
It's all about building trust, which is so important for any good doctor-patient relationship, but even more so in the age of AI.
I completely agree. And speaking of trust, one thing that really struck me about Dr. Cisneros is how much he emphasizes the importance of human oversight, even as AI becomes more advanced.
So you're saying that even with sophisticated AI, we still need human doctors and nurses making sure the technology is being used correctly and that the patient's best interests are always coming first.
That's exactly right. It's about recognizing AI as a powerful tool that can enhance what humans can do, but not replace humans altogether. We'll always need human judgment, compassion, and ethical decision-making in healthcare, no matter how advanced our AI gets.
It's about finding that balance, technological innovation, and that essential human touch.
Exactly. And that can be a tough balance to strike, but we have to get it right if we want a healthcare system that's both technologically cutting edge and still grounded in compassion.
We have to remember that at the end of the day, healthcare is about people caring for people.
Beautifully put. And while AI can definitely help us provide better care, it can never replace that fundamental human connection that's at the very heart of healing.
As we wrap up this deep dive into AI and clinical medicine, I'm left feeling cautiously optimistic. AI clearly has a potential to completely change healthcare for the better, but it's our responsibility to make sure we're using it wisely, ethically, and always with the well-being of all people in mind.
I couldn't agree more. And I think Dr. José Antonio Cisneros, with his unique experience as both a doctor and a bioengineer, has given us a lot to consider as we navigate this new landscape.
He really has. He's reminded us that the future of healthcare isn't just about algorithms and data. It's about what makes us human. Our
Hmm.
empathy, our need for connection, and our hope for a healthier and better future for everyone.
And as we explore this exciting new frontier in medicine, we need to hold on to those values, ensuring that AI is used for good, that it improves lives, and empowers us to lead healthier, happier, and more fulfilling lives.
Well said. A huge thank you to the brilliant Dr. Cisneros for sharing his insights, and to all of you for joining us on this deep dive into the future of healthcare. The quest for knowledge never ends. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep asking those big questions. Until next time.